I want to give all praises to Yahawah, baha, sham, Yahawashi, Rawchaa Qadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of great millstone, and salutations to brothers who's pushing the truth in the four corners, highways and byways. All praises to Yahawah, baha, sham, Yahawashi, Rawchaa Qadash. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 6. And it reads, "For the power who commanded the light to shine out of darkness hath shined it in our hearts, to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Yahawashi and Mashiach. But we have this treasure, right, in earthen vessel, that the excellency of the power may be of Yahweh, power of God, and not of us." Alright? Again, all praises to Yahawah, baha, sham, Yahawashi, Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of great millstone, and salutations to you brothers who's pushing this truth to the four corners, highways and byways. Now, this treasure that we have in us, alright, is not of ours. And we preach the word of Yahweh power, alright, with confidence, with that knowledge, alright, and even in the face and likeness of those who do not believe, we still bring this word out, alright. But it's unfortunate, but not really to us, right? Because we have been chosen to do this, to do the work, all right. But it's unfortunate for those that are weak in faith. When they look upon us men, hey, they basically think that these are just normal men, and the words that coming out their mouth or the interpretation of the scriptures is of mortal man. All right. Read again. It says verse 7, 2 Corinthians 4 and 7. "But we have this treasure in earthen vessels," right? This body. All right. Now, what's the treasure? This knowledge, the wisdom and understanding of Yahawah, Hashem, Yahawashi. It says that the excellency of the power may be of God and not of us. Check this. All right. The book of Psalms, chapter 8 and verse then read from verse 3. It says, "When I consider the heavens, so works thy fingers, the moons and the stars which thou hast ordained." So when you look at these things, the planets, the stars, the firmament itself, the moon, the sun, all right, these things are wonderful. But it goes on to say verse 4, "What is man?" Because now man is created, but comparing to man and all these things, look like the flesh. You ain't got no kind of, there's no importance. All right, this earthen vessel. Right? It says, "What is man that thou art mindful of him, and the Son of Man that thou visitest him?" Right? So that's why, because we had this treasure in earthen vessel. All right? We have this treasure in earthen vessel. Yahweh power has chosen us to give us this wisdom. Give us this wisdom, and the word that we speak is not of our words. It's not of our word. So okay. This is second. This is God. This is 1 John chapter 3. I'm going to read from verse 1. It says, "Behold, what manner of love hath the Father bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Alright, so this is the thing. Why are we so mindful? We become the sons of God because this word has been given to us. We've been chosen. Right? And even from the beginning, alright, before all these things, come about, hey, Yahawashi created the 144,000 angels. Alright, the angels that was created, Yahawashi being the firstborn, and then hey, he bring forth his brothers, the brethren. It says that we should be called the Son of God. Therefore, the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. Alright? Verse 2. It says, Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be, because, hey, we in this earthen vessel. Alright? We look like mortal men. We look like none of importance. Alright? Because the word of Yahawah cometh from us, right? Men take it to naught, and that's to their destruction. Okay? That's to their destruction. It says, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Alright? So, yeah, Yahawashi, even at the time when he was here, that's why they, sought to betray him, to lay hands on him. Alright? Because of what? He was an earthen vessel as well. Alright? And they take his word for naught. But when Yahawashi come speak the word, he didn't speak words of his own, but he speak of the Father. Right? Likewise, the same now. Alright? Get another precept. This is First Corinthians chapter 3 verse 18. It says, let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. Right? What you find is that, hey, these men of the world that got, the degree, the certificate, the bachelors and what's not, basically they edify of men, and they have the wisdom of this world, and they believe yet to be to exceed the wisdom of Yahawah that we carry. You understand? The knowledge of Yahawah that we carry. That's why even the people look to them and not to us. They look down on us. It says, let him become, it says, yeah, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. Why? Because you got to unlearn this world. Yeah, learn the things of this world, the mainstream religion, mainstream education, the philosophy of these heathens, the fables that they put out. You got to put these things, put that to naught in order that you could learn this wisdom. Right? It says, for the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God, for it is written, he taketh up the wise in their own craftiness. Right? So, hey, all these crafty men with the wisdom, it shows failure. It fall. They word fall to the ground. Alright? They word fall to the ground. So, hey, basically, whose man that Yahawah is mindful of him is because we had the treasure in this earthen vessel. And Yahawah chosen us and given us this wisdom. So why we say, hey, Ka halala, Yahawah, baha sham, Yahawashi, Rawchaa Qadash, for this mark and this wisdom and understanding. Alright? Get one more precept. Because even at this time, we would find is that the word of Yahawah is being taken for granted. get it. Yeah, this is 1 Corinthians 1, verse 21. It says, "For after that in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God." Yahawah. It says, it pleaseth God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. Alright? So this is all beautiful because, well, they that believe, they're not watching upon the man, you understand, that bring the message. But what the ones that believe, they increase in faith by hearing. Alright, and they believe the words of Yahawah. Right? They believe the words of Yahawah. Like it says in John chapter 6 verse, no, Salakia. John chapter 7 verse 38. It says, "He that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water." And that's the thing, right? So the words, right, they are of importance, because if Yahawashi even say, "The sheep hear my voice and I know them." So just hearing this word, all right, and just having this word in us is what makes us precious, and it's also, that is the importance, that what matter, because the word of Yahawah is in us. All right. Before I close out, check this. This is Psalms, Isaiah Salakia, chapter 8 and verse 20. It says, "To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them." All right. It is because there's no light in them. All right. Reiterating back on the 2 Corinthians chapter 4. All right. Verse 7, it says, "But we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency," Salakia, verse 6, it says, 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 6, it says, "For the power who commanded the light to shine out of us," so while we speak this word, there's light in us. It says, "had shined our hearts, or shine in our hearts." It says to give the light of knowledge, because we speak according to this word, speak the words of Yahawah. It says, "of the glory of God in the face of Yahawashi Mashiach." It says, "But we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency and the power may be of God, Yahawah, and not of us." God, again, the words that we speak are not our words. Right? So it's important that you take heed. Anyway, with that, I want to give our praises to Yahawah, baha, Yahawashi, Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to you, brothers who's pushing the truth in the four corners, the highways and byways. All praises to Yahawah, baha, Yahawashi, Rawchaa Qadash. Rakata.